Hey, hey, happy Thursday. This is Apple Sign In, a demo of the new stuff in the API. So you can see hitting the user endpoint and it's telling me I'm not logged in. So I'm going to use the new test for logging in with Apple, login-apple. Bring up DevTools because it's not hooked up in a super nice way right now. Let's give it a try. So what you can't see when I click on that is it pops up a pop-up for login. I guess I should have recorded my whole screen. And when you follow through with the pop-up, it comes back and this page it gets the token back from Apple Sign In and then submits it to an API, our API endpoint with the code. And then from that, it sets the cookie that has your authentication, and it creates the user just like the Google login does if it doesn't already exist. So a couple of things here. I'm gonna, yeah. So that's that. You'll see the success just comes back with your auth token from our endpoint, and that's what you use when you're using the API with a token or bearer header. Use that. You can see this is what comes back from Apple, and I want to show some copy string contents. So that's all good, but that user is not an admin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as my admin user so I can demonstrate a few things. And once you're logged in, of course, you can go to go.surfey.me/user, and it's going to pull up user information. When you log in with Apple, if it's just creating it, it'll have different stuff here. Really, the only thing consistent that you'll find is it'll tell you what email of the user that's logged in. Anything else, I wouldn't count on. I'll probably be making name and picture show up for the Apple stuff as well, but right now it doesn't. So now that I'm logged in as my super user, so I have admin equals true, I can do a couple more things to show you what's going on. So I have test endpoints in the API that you have to be a super user to access. And one of those is Apple, let's see, ID token claims. And then you can say ID token equals, and we can pull out the ID token. And this is what you would get. This is what I get internally when I validate the token. So this is pulling Apple certificate, checking the JWT, the JIT, to make sure that it's signed correctly, and then parsing the contents of the claims, which again, this is what you would see in the user profile is email. All this other stuff really doesn't, make a difference. And I'll have to add name and picture and all that, but that's the only thing that would show up there. Let's see, what other tests do we have? So if you go to route test, you can see all the different test endpoints you can try out. So this is a good way to, when things aren't working, look in Cloud Run logs to see why they're not working, but then you can try out the different functions that I have for Apple Sign In and just Apple stuff to see how that's working. Like one of the big things is we need this client secret so that we can actually validate the code or actually retrieve an access token that has the ID token in it with the claims. And the secret itself is based on a certificate, which is in Secret Manager, but it's is that no, that's yours. Anyway, one of these, I think it's just key. It's Surfey sign in. And that's this. And I've already downloaded the certificate, and this gets pulled in automatically by the Cloud Run distribution. I have it pulled from the secret. So this is a good segue into all of the settings that the API uses are in secrets here. And so those are going to be mapped directly to environment variables, or they're going to be pulled at runtime. And so you have, in order to make all this work, you need all of these different IDs and that key, which is this guy right here. And I don't think you'll have to use any of that stuff on the client side, but it is available at least for testing through these test endpoints. Let's see, that's pretty much it. Oh, the actual endpoint, we saw it here, is Apple sign in, similar to Google sign in, except instead of the ID token, you pass the code. So looking at, boy, this just gets smaller and smaller, doesn't it? Oh, can't see the content. Here we go. Whew. You know what? I don't know why I'm looking there. So really simple on this test side. I'm using the JavaScript to create an Apple ID button. And you can see the button is just, there's this div right here. And then when you click the button, it does its thing, and if success happens, then I pass the resulting code to our API, which then translates it to an auth token for our side, which we don't need at that point. It just means we're signed in. And that's it. So hopefully you can use this from the Flutter side as well. Like if we go to login again, I'll show you what it looks like with the key thing here is that no matter if you're using the Google or Apple login, it's resolving it down to a primary email address, which is how we're going to represent the user. All right, go forth and Apple sign in.